I'm sorry, guys, about that, man. My computer just shut down on me, and now I got to start this all over. Last time I did it, and it was we had a blackout, little blackout, but this time my computer just shut down on me, and so now I'm back with this crap again. Um, so yeah, we're gonna finish. Let me what I was talking about um with defenders. Um, sucks once I hate when that happens. I really do. And it throws me off what I was talking about. And then I gotta all that other stuff. I hate when that happens. Um I just really hate when that happens. It it literally throws me off from what I was talking about. Shoot. All right. Really throws me off. So now I gotta come back and I lost everybody's questions because of the stupid live feed stream. I don't know what the hell. My computer just shut down on me, guys. So then I gotta do it again, and I gotta start this over again. So I apologize for that, guys. Once again, this time my computer just shut down. We were getting into it. We were having some fun. We were talking defenders, and next you know, bloop, my computer just shuts down on me, and then I gotta start all over, and yada yada yada. So what was I talking about? I'll give you guys some time. I'll people to come back. Um, I'm gonna give it some time for everybody to come back because I don't like talking when I ain't nobody here. That really irritated me, man. It really does. Let's see. I hate when that happens. I really hate when that happens, y'all. Anyway, um, I'll just wait till people come back in from what we were talking about. Uh, getting talking defenders. I was looking at some of your comments. I was replying to some of your comments, things like that, and then whoop, computer goes down. And I hate that. I hate that. You motherfucker. Boy. I, mm, 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 mm. I'll just wait for a little bit, and then I'll just. I got it. I got it. I got it. What happened? We are having some technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Restore. All right. So where did we leave off on this, guys? Trying to remember where do we leave off? We were talking about some nitpicks. We started talking about uh, the dragons, and we were talking about the end scene, end credits. No, not the end. We were talking about the final fight and things like that. And yeah, I left off on talking about when Matt came back on in costume, how he was legit, right? Yeah, that's where I left off on. And there's only okay, Travis. All right, all right. So we're just gonna leave that there. I'll just answer if some questions pop up. I'll just answer some. So the ending. Oh, we didn't get to some of the good parts. Okay, that's what the fight was good. When Matt came back on, like I said, him saving Jessica and Trish and him getting involved back in the shape and form was great. Somebody asked me once before after the series ended, like, did you like Stick? How did you feel about Stick dying? Stick dying was something that needed to happen. I was like, yeah, Stick's gonna die soon. I smelt it. You know, Stick was meant to die. Uh, Dying by Elektra's hand was a little symbolic. If you think about it, it was a little symbolic of what he wanted to do with her after he found out who she was might become and things like that. But intertwining, going back and forth between the past and Elektra, really falling in love with Matt, was very interesting, and she did love him. Elektra don't love a lot of people, but Matt is one guy she does carry a torch for. She does love. So I was glad they put that in there. Matt keeping Elektra a secret from the team, I figured that was going to happen too. Like he wasn't gonna tell them who she is or things like that. Um, I figured that was going to be the case indeed. Real quick, real fast, real quick. That I figured that was definitely going to be the case. With her, like I knew they weren't going to. Matt would not tell them who she is because she's all had some kind of connection with them, interaction with them. So him keeping that from her was like them was like, yo, us, Matt still cares for her. So it's really interesting that he didn't. But her killing Stick was, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised. It was symbolic in a sense. It really was. It was very symbolic of to everything that came straight forward between them. You know what I'm saying? It was going to happen. It really was. It was going to happen, and people just needed to. You guys that just had to accept the fact that yeah, that was going to happen. It really was. So yeah, I thought I wasn't really shocked that Electra killing Stick. But like I said before, I wasn't shocked when she killed Alexandra as well. I was just like, I smell it coming. I knew it. I was like, yeah, I'm smelling it. I'm smelling it. I'm smelling it. Here it comes. Oh, yeah, she's dead. But that was probably one of the moments in the show that I did not like. I was really upset about that. I was like, then what was the point of showcasing Sigourney Weaver as the big bad if she wasn't going to be much? You know what I'm saying? So, Matt taking on Bakoto and all them and handling it. He handled himself. Because Bakoto, I remember Bakoto saying like, the devil of Hell's Kitchen, he's an exceptional fighter, but he's no match for us. Motherfucker was beating the shit out of both of y'all. So yeah, to say he wasn't a match for you was fine. Here's another thing that I kind of Colleen not being more incorporated into it, as I wanted her to be more involved. She didn't seem, once she kind of fell to the background, and you could see that over that time that kind of really bothered her. Even when Bakoto came back into the picture, and things like that, it kind of bothered her. She kind of blamed what happened to Danny on them. But it was very interesting indeed when she did come back in. Uh, I wouldn't be myself if I didn't talk about that scene. So inside the building, Jessica and Claire are running and hiding and kind of fighting Bokoto. Misty gets involved. She bought them some time, but she got involved, and she comes in contact with Bokoto. She puts a gun up, pop, pop, pop. He takes like 4 to the chest, not going down. I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, wait. That really bothered me. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, wait a minute. He's not invulnerable like that. And then the moment happened that we all should have known was going to happen. I knew Misty was going to lose her arm some way in this series. You know why? The first time I thought it was going to happen was when they started showcasing all these explosives. Now, in the comic, Misty Knight 101, for all those who don't know how she lost her arm, comic-wise, she was a cop. Yes, she was a cop. She lost it in a bombing. She lost her arm there. Tony Stark, admiring her bravery, gave her a replacement arm, which was very clunky, very big. It was too heavy for her, so just moving it, she was all off balance. It took her off balance. And then, of course, as you all know, it started to get it upgraded. They improved it over time, like Tony Stark's armor. Here, I thought, okay, they're going to do the bombing, and she's going to lose her arm there. But how she lost it was worse. She got her damn arm cut right. I was like, oh! But a part of me, y'all, and I can't lie to you guys, a part of me, when that shit happened, I was like, oh, she lost her arm. I was geeking out. I had an old friend of me said he was laughing at it. I'm like, what? When I heard him say that, I just thought to myself, why would he laugh at that? It was a very tragic moment. Like, she lost. And the point was, if you think about it, you should have been like, yo, somebody get Misty out of here. She's gonna bleed to death. She'll bleed out, but her losing that arm was just, it's like, yeah, she lost her arm. It's like, yeah, they got it. So that was a moment I did enjoy. But the fight down below was interesting, but the fact that Matt stayed behind, and I'm like, okay, and he tells them to get Danny out of there, and he whispers something to Danny, and him and Electra are down there just fighting, and but in the meantime, it's almost like foreplay in a sense, because Electra's like, yeah, we could be together and now, and things like that, and they're hitting each other, but it's like, is this? When I was looking at that scene, I'm like, is this foreplay? Is this Electra's foreplay? Because she's hitting Matt, and Matt's hitting her back, and he's saying this and that. There were some funny lines. I was kind of cracking up. Even before that, there was some scenes that had me laughing. And I'll talk about those afterward. But the scene where they're together, was a little symbolic. But it was still bullshit in my opinion, because here's why. Let me explain why it was bullshit. Marvel screwed up by announcing season 3 of Daredevil early, before Defenders. They should have never announced that. Never until after, because it would have made more believable. Is Matt dead? But we all know he's not. We all know he's not dead. He didn't die. And I know, and I'm believing Elektra's not dead. I hear the people I'm believing are not dead. Elektra and Madame Gal. I believe she's still alive. I believe they took parts of the dragon bone and used it. That's how Matt's alive too, I believe. But yeah, we saw that scene where Matt is he's surrounded by nuns, and they say, go get who, his mother. Right out of the classic Born Again story, Frank Miller came right out of it. So when that scene happened, guys, I was just like, that's bullshit. I'm like, why'd y'all do that? Why'd y'all do that? Like, we know he's alive. We know he's alive. But overall, the series is great. I did enjoy it, but that ending just kind of bothered me, because they shouldn't have played it off the way they did, in terms of, we already know that Matt's alive. You said season 3, so come on. It's like, come on, man. Like, why bring that up? Why bring up that he's dead? He's alive. We knew he was going to be alive. But but those are some things I about to see. My other nitpicks for the series, like I said before, Sigourney Weaver was probably the biggest one for me. Her character in general. 2, Colleen not being more involved. Third one would probably be early Danny, in terms of evolution of the character, like him kind of whining a lot. I was like, dude, you gotta stop whining. Come on, things like that. The other thing that probably nitpicks is, like, everybody's saying that Danny, you're the dumbest Iron Fist ever. Like, it's like, oh my god, like, stop. It's getting on my nerves. But let's talk about things I did like. Okay, my likes. I said it before. The interaction between the characters were good. I love all the interaction between everybody was really good. The interaction between, I guess you could say, teases of hopefully the future. Let's talk about the whole Misty Knight ordeal, because that right there was interesting. Now, Misty seemed to be somewhat okay with losing her. She didn't. She had that attitude, that mentality, like, I was just doing my job, But Colleen was there when she woke up, which I thought was brilliant. That it was Colleen that was there when she woke up, and she told her that Danny, the Rand Corporation is gonna. They've been working on prototype, arms, stuff that disabilities, for disabilities vets and things like that, and they're gonna help them. So there you have your connection that could tie a little bit into Misty and Danny in terms of that. So it was really good to see that. But we do know Misty, season 2 of Luke Cage, Misty has her arm. She has her arm in that. And there was a big picture that went up. Entertainment Weekly broke that real quick, said pop. And you see her and Luke in a garage, and she's got the arm with a gun. And a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it looks fake. It looks fake. It looks fake. Really, it looks stupid." And this is how I explain to everybody who's not big on the arm. Think of it as a prototype. It's a prototype, and over time, it's going to get better. That's the way you look at it. But the fact that she's got her arm, it's great. Now you got it. There's her. Now basically her character is almost complete. You know what I'm saying? It's almost complete. So yeah. Uh, and then you have what did everybody notice in the hospital? The doctor that is looking over Misty. You can see the name real quick. I made sure I wrote it down so everybody don't forget it. But did you see that name? It said Dr. It said Dr. Wentham, as in Elias Wortham, aka Cardiac. I was like, no, they didn't just throw that in there. Research who Cardiac is. He's an anti-hero, rolls around with Spider-Man a lot, things like that. He's kind of in and out. But I was like, what? There was some Easter eggs in here, guys. But then we see guy on the roof looking over the city, and all of a sudden his hand lights up, and it's Danny. Symbolic of that being Daredevil. It would seem that what Daredevil told him is to protect the city. So, in some ways, Finn Jones was right that Defenders is going to mature. Excuse me, is going to mature Danny more, and I think it did. I think it did. So, but probably I said it before. Some of my favorite moments that the hallway scene was great. The interaction with the team in the Chinese restaurant, which was great. I love that scene. Um, uh, Jessica and Matt's interaction was just classic stuff. Um, the scene with Matt and with the nuns was because as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, again. There were a lot of good scenes in there. Now, let's see what you guys have for me. Saddest moment. I would say kind of a little bit of Stick dying, but not so much because it was bound to happen. But Stick is a G, man. He cut his own goddamn hand off to get away from them. I was like, Jesus Christ, Stick. Um, so I can't. That was pretty much it. Uh, I've known Colleen Wing since she first came to comics, and the fact that they got her and Danny together instead of Danny and Misty is fun because I've always looked at it like I like Danny and Misty together. They're opposites, and that opposites attract. But there's also a connection. I was like, Colleen met Danny first when he first came back. Her father knew when he was coming, and that was something that I wish they touched on too. Is like, Colleen's father, him knowing about Conan and knowing when Iron Fist was going to come, and things like that. But Colleen is great, and Jessica Henswick does a good job, and I'm glad they casted her because she is pretty much the same like Colleen. She is of mixed race. Colleen is Japanese and her father's American. Her mother was Japanese. In Jessica Hedwig's case, her father's French and her mother's Chinese. So right there, they got somebody exactly what. And this time around, her style in terms of when I look at this compared to how she was in Iron Fist, it seems that she had a little bit more time to train in Bushido, or Kendo, because that was one thing I did not like about Iron Fist. Is like it didn't look like they had enough time to train in their discipline. This time it felt like okay, there was a little bit more time they could get it down pat. But yeah, she's fierce, but she needs to train and Kunlun like she's supposed to. She goes to Kunlun and trains a little bit and learns a little bit more and helps her craft herself even better. That's comic wise, but I'm not sure they're gonna be able to do that. Um, um, Misty and Colleen having bigger roles would have been good. Ken, I will agree with that. I wish they did have bigger roles. Hey, Rez, I wish they did have bigger roles. I did. I wish they did because it was great. But seeing Misty lose her arm, like I said before, I was like, she lost her arm, but I wasn't happy about it in terms of like, yeah, she lost her freaking arm. Good for her. And I was like, geeking out because we all know what comes next. Bionic arm, and Luke Cage season 2, she's got it. So yeah. So talked about my nitpicks. I talked about what I liked. The future. Let's talk about some of that stuff. The future. Um, Luke Cage season 2 is coming, and the villains are I know Nightshade. I don't know how they're doing Nightshade because she's going to be in the Black Panther movie. I don't know how they're doing that. And who else is going to be in? It's not Moses Magnum. It's oh God, what's his name? Damn it. He used to call himself the Power Master. He's kind of like Luke Cage too. God damn, I'm forgetting his name. But yeah, he's going to be in that in season 2. We do know Jessica Jones season 2. Uh, Purple Man will come back. I guess they're going to do flashbacks of that. And Typhoid Mary is going to be in it, so that's going to be interesting to see. Typhoid Mary. Um, let me see. Justin, you asked me, did you catch Alexandra looking up and down, checking out like one episode 4 in the restaurant? That was funny. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, when she came in, she came in and looked at Luke and was like, I thought that was funny. That was pretty funny. Yeah, that was funny. I said hi, Res. Yeah, hi, Res. Uh, Colleen better fighter than Danny, or they're equal. Are we talking martial art wise? Because Danny's better than just Colleen. Uh, yeah, they're not equal. Uh, Colleen is a samurai girl. Now, I'm not saying that samurai didn't learn how to fight without their swords, but Danny is he's a martial artist. He's one of the. It was always comic wise. It's always been who's the best martial artist in the Marvel universe. It's always been between. It was always who is. It was always neck and neck between Danny and Shang-Chi. That's who it's always been. Who's better? Some people say Danny. Some people say Shang. If it was you asking me, I say Shang-Chi is better than Danny. Danny has admitted it that he would lose in a straight up fight with Shang-Chi if he would lose. He admitted it. But yeah, Danny definitely. Uh, let's see. The Stan Lee cameos I did catch, that was pretty funny. It was fine. Let's talk about some of the speculations. I'm continuing my speculations onto what should happen. Well, we do know season 3 of Daredevil probably is definitely going to revolve around the Born Again series, the Born Again story arc, which is great. Hopefully we get Bullseye up in there, and hopefully Bullseye. Hopefully it's Kingpin that hires Bullseye. Bullseye to fuck with Matt. He is kill Karen because that's who Karen dies by, Bullseye. But at that time, see there's a difference between Cinematic Universe's Karen Page and comic Karen Page, because at that time Karen had become really doped out on drugs. She was doing adult porn at that time. She was just wasted, and she was angry at Matt. She released his identity at one point. So I'm wondering if they're going to take a little bit of Born Again, and hopefully they bring Vincent D'Onofrio back as Kingpin, and he starts to kind of put 2 and 2 together that Matt is Daredevil, is the devil without in the Hell's Kitchen. However, so I'm hopefully they're going to go that route. With Iron Fist is a little harder because what I want from them, and I wish I can go through my collection, but mostly all my Iron Fist comics are in boxes. Everything you see right there is I got a box. But I really wish I could take out Brubaker, Fraction, Mortal Iron Fist, the showrunners, and I would hold it up and I'll say, this is what your Bible should be. This should be what you should be looking at for Iron Fist 2. But I'm hoping, and this is just me speculating, I'm hoping that Danny takes up the Daredevil costume for a while, continue to be Daredevil for a while till Matt comes back as Daredevil. We could see that classic moment where them meeting and Danny, like, Matt, you're alive, like in that scene where we saw where they were fighting at a time, and then Matt, who are you? And then Danny, the fist glue, and then Matt's like, Danny. So I'm hoping that, but I'm also hoping that he does get his own costume. There was somebody on, I forget which, somebody drew a concept art of what they would think the costume would look like. I actually put it up. I think I put it up on my Facebook or so. It was really nice. I was like, I could dig with that. I could dig that. But it wouldn't be surprising if Danny goes to Gladiator, aka Melvin, for developing costume from. I take it. I believe it. Now, there are some other speculations I'm hoping may come true. Alexandra said that she's killed many Iron Fists. I'm hoping that was not Orson Randall. My speculation at some points, I was always thinking like, when Danny couldn't use the Iron Fist at times, even in this series, he couldn't use. There was one point he was getting, and he's like, "Come on!" And what if Orson Randall's still alive, and he gets the book of the Iron Fist and learns how to meditate and learns how to heal himself, things like that. I'm hoping that that comes true, because as you all know, two Iron Fists can't be in the same existence. When one taps into it, it hurts the other, or that drains them and things like. I'm speculating, but I would love that. I would love that, y'all. I would love it. Um, as for, I'm thinking Danny will learn how to channel. I've said before. I'm thinking. I don't know why. At first, Danny was only able to channel it through one fist. Sooner or later, he's going to be able to channel through both, and his feet and things like that. That'd be crazy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Uh, okay, got a message. Sorry. Hold on. Got a text message. Hold on. Wait, what? Sorry. My friend texted me something. I'm like, wait, what? Um, what were we talking? Oh, speculations. So yeah, that's my speculations from Matt. Um, hopefully he get for Danny. Hopefully he gets a costume. Definitely, I think we all want it. Danny definitely needs one. Not everybody knows he's Iron Fist, so the public doesn't know he's Iron Fist. So him in a costume would make sense. And it's really simple. I mean, you don't have to. Doesn't have to be armor based. I mean, it it doesn't need to be armor based like Matt's costume, but it would be cool to see a costume with the yellow and the green. What I wanted to look more like his, his old costume where it was open. You see the Iron Fist, the dragon. Maybe I wouldn't mind just being closed and just a symbol like that. I don't know. It'd just be interesting. Um, um, Punisher will. I think everybody needs to notice. And one thing about Punisher will have no connection to Defenders, no connection to any of the other stuff. It's its own entity. So don't think about Punisher at all. He won't. It won't be in there. The other question I think everybody asks me: so does his Defenders deserve a season two, or it was always planned as a mini series, guys? That's it. You just leave it as it is, And in the sense of that, it was just like it's almost in a sense you look at it as the Avengers. Like, what are they defending now? The other question I've seen randomly was like, should Defenders, if they do it, should it be a different group of heroes? No, I don't. Why? Um, uh, yeah, so yeah, it was a little bit, okay. So I don't really want to see a season two. Move forward with the individual seasons, but hopefully I do want to see a Power Man, Luke Cage, Iron Fist series. Maybe them coming together. I want to see Daughters of the Dragon, definitely, because there were just so many teases in this that people you can't but speculate. Like, okay, yeah, you know. Uh, but like I said, the biggest I would say that, like I said, once again, I want to reiterate it because I think people don't want to make sure I get everybody knows. The biggest thing was the Sigourney Weaver character. That really bothers me. That bothers me that she was just almost a waste of such talent as the villain. She really wasn't technically the villain. You know, it was just like, okay, she's there, but then they're not really following her. You know, it was just, I was really like kind of disappointed in that. I'm hoping Orson Randall. That would be probably Danny. That's Danny's predecessor. We kind of saw him in the Iron Fist. We saw him in black and white, him defending during World War II. That was him. That was Orson Randall. It's kind of funny, but Orson Randall's been around since World War One. That's how long he's been around. So, but hopefully I have my speculations on that. Um, as in terms of speculation of the villains for Iron Fist 2, Davos definitely will finally, will be the villain. Um, I'm hoping, the Meachums aren't too much, because Heather is not really supposed to be like Heather. No, no. Is not supposed to. She was angry with Danny for some time, but she got over it quick. Uh, but overall, like I said, this was a good way to wrap up the the I guess you could say phase one of the Netflix series for but the future, I would kind of say it doesn't look that bright, especially because the fact that all the Marvel stuff will be, and I'm wondering, does that include the Netflix stuff with Marvel? Because Disney is going to start their own streaming network, and all the Marvel stuff and everything that Disney owns is going there. But it makes me wonder, with the Netflix series, are they safe? Because ain't no way, Marvel, Disney is putting those series on a Disney streaming. No way, ain't no way. Uh, ain't no way. Uh, Let me see. I don't think Madame Gal will show up in Daredevil first. I think she wants to get back because she is the Crane. She. Uh, I think she's gonna be back on. She wants to get back home. I don't blame her. You know. But they're gonna use more of. They're gonna use more of the Born Again storyline. Um, Kingpin. I don't think he was really aware of the hand. Um, um, I kind of disagree with that one. Purple Man was damn good. David Tennant rocked as Purple Man. When he came on as Purple Man, and at that time, yeah, it was Vincent D'Onofrio. Kingpin was great, and then Tennant came in and he killed that role. I was like, damn, he was good as as Kilgrave. I was just like, Purple Man. I was just like, I was just wishing he, was fully purple, but I was just really impressed by him. He was good. It's basically a tie between him and the Kingpin, in my opinion. Um, what else did I? So I'm hoping Danny will be Iron Fist. I mean, I'm hoping Danny will be Daredevil for a while before Matt comes back. Um, but this mini did set up a lot of stuff that Marvel should think about doing. Um, should they do an Elektra series? Maybe. You know, I don't know who they could use as a villain. Who she going to? Maybe she. I don't know. Just really hard. Elektra never really had a lot of rogues gallery. Um, but I do want to see Danny and Colleen. I mean, not Danny and Misty interact with each other because Simone Messick has gone on record to say she wants to explore that relationship, and I think we all want to see that at some point in time. Same people always ask me, when do you think Luke and Jessica are going to get back together? It's like right now he's with Claire. Like let them rock it. I love that scene though between Luke and Jessica. Where they're at the bar and Luke's saying, you know, you should have called, but also taking blame that maybe I should have called too. You know, but he never brought up being with Claire. He never said that. That was something that because Luke wouldn't do that. I'm like, no, Luke, you know you should have called and I should have called, but you're right. You know, um, but right, I'm with Claire now. Um, yeah, the nurse that you met, I'm with her. Uh, but give a hint that it's still on the table because somebody told me like, what should have happened? That she said, Luke, I'm pregnant. I turned to this guy. I'm not gonna spoil who his name is, but this guy wrote me on Instagram. No, not Instagram, on Tumblr. My Tumblr kind of about that, and I'm like, and I looked at it. I said that I'm like, dude, that'd be stupid. I was like, that's stupid. Like, why take this long to admit that? That's stupid. That would have been stupid. And I don't want to see that right away, right now. Jessica's pregnant. Right now, she's kind of lowered those walls a little bit. She's letting people in more. Malcolm kind of now has a little bit of a, like, he's kind of in with her. Like, you know, she's not too much like, I'll hug you, but she's letting people in, because Jessica's very protective. And it's good to see that, you know. Indeed. Foggy, I'm looking forward to seeing them realize that Matt's alive, him visiting, coming reacting with Foggy again. But yeah, you know, yeah, you know what? That was not no that was not her. That was not one of the immortal weapons. Hell fucking no. I do not accept that. That was not the bride of Nine Spiders. I don't know what you're talking about, Justin. Nope. That wasn't the brother, the dog brothers. Nope. Because that's basically what that was. They were basically symbolically saying those were the immortal weapons. The other immortal, and I'm like, nope, no, that wasn't. They need to just admit that's not the daughter of Nine Spiders. Nope. Um, they were missing a couple of them, and I'm glad they were missing, a couple of other mortal weapons. There was no Tiger's beautiful daughter, so I'm glad she wasn't there. The one thing I think for Iron Fist we want to see is the other mortal weapons. That there are other mortal weapons. I think we all want to see the tournament and Fat. I want to see Fat Cobra. That's my dude. If outside of Danny, he's probably my favorite immortal weapon, Fat Cobra. The big sumo with the tats on him. He beat Danny. He beat Danny. I was like, whoa, he beat him. You know, I don't know. Mm. Shield doesn't deal with like that kind of threats. So uh I'm sure, Brandon, that Davos will be the villain. Joy, I don't think she's going to be the villain. I think she may start out like it is, but then she'll, the typical, I'm sorry, because in the comics, when she found out that what her father did to Danny's parents, she forgave him. She hated the Iron Fist for what he did, but after a while it happened. So I think Davos is definitely going to be it. But I want to see the Tournament of Heaven, the tournament between the other cities of Golan, the other cities of heaven. You know, like I said, Fat Cobra, the Dog Brothers, Tiger's beautiful daughter, Fat Cobra, daughter of Nine Spiders. I don't care. Once I saw, that's not her. Mm-mm. I was so disappointed in that. I was so disappointed. Um, yeah, Jessica. Like I said, Luke never admitted to Jessica that he's with Claire. But I did. That scene was really good. That was a really good moment for me personally because of the fact that they haven't seen each other since for a while, since Jessica shot Luke in the head, and he was out for a while. He left, and and she's doing this, and when they came back together, is Luke, Jessica, Luke, you know, it's giving just like old times, right? It's like but still, it was nice to see, and they admitted, you should have called, and I should have called back. You should have called, and I should have called. But it was he's with Claire. Um, let me. Uh, I got this question again on Tumblr. Somebody asked me, "Do you want to see Claire die?" No, I do not. I do not want to see Claire die. I know we mostly think of her as the Phil Coulson of this side of the MCU, and what happened to Coulson, what didn't. But I don't want to see her die. I really don't. I don't. I don't. I don't want to see Rosario die. I want to see her become what she's supposed to be. The night nurse. Like she helps out, but I don't want to see that. I don't. I don't. I don't want to see that just a way to put Jessica and Luke back together. I don't want to see that just for shits and giggles or just for you know. You could be a little different from the comics right now. You know, I don't want to see Luke have another one night stand with Jessica and and him telling Claire I cheated. I had a slept with her. No, I don't want that. Um, yeah, that was sad. That okay. Somebody asked me saddest moment. That probably was the moment. Seeing Karen and Foggy just everybody else is embracing everybody. Coming back. Claire, Luke, Malcolm, and Trish with Jessica, Colleen, and Danny, and you got Deborah Ann Wall, like Karen Page, and Foggy waiting for Matt to come through the door, and they don't. And that was sad. I was like, Foggy just lost his best friend. They've been on ups and downs for a while since, but you know, it was that was sad. I will admit that was a sad one. Joy Meacham. This is guys. You can also do your research. Look into Joy Meacham. Y'all know Harold Meacham. Comic wise, Harold Meacham was a partner to Weldon, Danny's father. When they were on the excavation together, Harold took his opportunity to kill Weldon. Well, he knocked Weldon off the mountain. They were looking for Cullen, actually. And then he expressed his love to Heather, Danny's mother. She didn't confess her love, and he left her to die with Danny. He got back, but when Danny came back and wanted revenge, and did he kill Harold? Or I believe he did. Joy was at that point. Justin, Joy was really like, I hate Iron Fist. She kind of had the vibe of how Harry Osborn was in the Sam Raimi run in his Spider-Man run. That's how it was. But then when she found out who Iron Fist was and what her father did, she kind of no more. I really wish they threw in, Danny's sister. Yes, they don't do it anymore, but Danny has a sister. Her name is Miranda. And well, this was another. They have different mothers, but the same father. So she's Danny's half sister. That would be great to explore in a season 2. I would love that. I would love that if they explored Danny's sister, who at one point was a villain for a while. She was Deaf Sting. Yeah, Deaf Sting. So I would love that. No. I think Misty might know that Matt stared over, but nobody else knows. Nobody else knows. Who is Riccadonna, Justin? That is definitely one of Misty and Colleen's worst villains. They always go at it with her. She was like a business tycoon. She was in a crime organization. Then she gained powers, everything like that. You research more into her. She would be the villain for Colleen for Daughters of the Dragon series. I would definitely have her. Riccadonna. Good. So yeah, you could research more into her. I would definitely have that. Indeed. Let's see. Would I like to see her in the series? Yeah, I'd like to see her in Daughters of the Dragon series. I think sooner or later Misty's gonna leave the police force. I think she is, because they're gonna look at her maybe as a liability. She can't do her job without they're probably just gonna resort to her in a desk job, because that's why she left the NYPD in the first place, because when she lost her arm, they just kept her. They just ransacked her to being into be just a desk job. She just had a desk job. She wasn't out in the streets. She wasn't doing her thing out there. So I think they're definitely gonna, sooner or later, it's just like, you're too much of a, you need to be resorted to a desk job. And Misty don't play that. And I think later on her and Colleen are gonna start. I would love to see that she gets a little bit of inspiration from Jessica Jones. Like, okay, you got Alias, we got what's the wing restoration, right? I gotta remember. Let me make sure the let me see. I want to make sure I get Colleen and Misty's their agency. They have an agency. I want to make sure it's the It is the restoration. It is one of them. Let me just make sure. I want to make sure I get it so I don't fuck it up. Let me see. Let me see. I want to make sure. Okay. Let's see. All right, let me see. Uh, Nightwing, Nightwing restoration. Yeah, that's that's what their agency was called. So I'm hopefully they come up with that and they get together. That would be cool. That would be really, really cool to see. I would love that. I would love that a lot if we get to see Nightwing restoration. Uh, but I know a lot of people they also want to see the Heroes for Hire, things like that. But definitely want to see a Colleen Wing Misty Knight. Uh, definitely want to see that. Um, we are you talking about Misty's arm? I don't know because you can't since they can't go full repulsor, like because that's basically what Misty's arm is now. It's just she just has uh it's basically you took the armor for Iron Man, popped it on her arm, and she can do repulsor rays, she can do heat blasts, cold rays, all kinds of stuff. Hacking the computers with that arm, it's crazy what her arm can do now. It's really cool too. So I'm not sure how much. I'm thinking they're just it'll give her strength now, like she'll have super strength with it. I don't think the prototype will be able to do that right now. Um, but I don't think it'll have a lot of weapons. Maybe I wouldn't mind maybe her arm being able to tase people, like it'll be like a human tase. She shock somebody to knock them out in the fingertips, like she just goes like oh, and they pass out or something like that. That'd be cool. Um, be a little different because you can't incorporate Tony Stark into it, so it'd be kind of cool. See, I'm just interested in seeing what they're going to do for that arm. We'll see it in season 2 of Luke Cage. Um, you'll never see Tony. I think you guys look. I've come to accept it, and I think you guys, you other geeks out there, need to accept it. We're never going to see any characters from the movies on these shows. We're never. If that ever happens, I'll be blown away. For example, Jessica Jones had a relationship with Scott Lang. The day I see Paul Rudd on as Hank Scott Lang, be great. I mean, there are easier ways to do it than just seeing Tony. I mean, they could just say somebody from Stark Industries, the representative. Kobe Sombers could. I know she could do it. But I don't think they're gonna do it. You'll never see that. Not at all. Thing like okay. Oh, sorry about that. I don't think you'll ever see. I don't think you'll ever see anybody from the movies, and that's just a sad thing. It was already said, Justin, that Danny's the Rand Corporation is designing the arms. The arms. So yeah, that's already been said. That was said when Colleen was talking to Misty in the hospital. That was already said. I would love to see Jessica fly. You know, she can fly. You know, that was one of her powers. You know, they're just doing that. She jumps far. I'm like, I want to see her fly. You know, come on. Uh, let's see. Did you believe the cage fight involving Colleen Wing was realistic or totally unbelievable? We talking about the in Iron Fist? It was okay. And it's not that it's okay. Could have been better, but it's okay. If you want to see my pros and cons, uh, start the video all over. Shoujo, I'm not gonna go back into it. The major con of it is Sigourney Weaver's character. Just Sigourney, that character, Alexandra, and that's the biggest thing. Indeed, um, that really bothered me. Uh, I gotta look up who's gonna be the villains in Luke Cage season 2. I'm sorry, I gotta look that up now. That's really bothering me. I know it's Nightshade. I don't know how she's gonna be in it because she's also gonna be in the Black Panther movie. So I'm not sure. Um, I'm gonna make sure. All right. Okay. Bushmaster. There we go. Bushmaster is gonna be one of the villains. And we're not talking about the Bushmaster from Serpent Society. Um, he's crossed paths a lot with Danny and Luke. So he he's similar to Luke Cage. He had the same process that gave Luke his powers. Same thing done to him. Um, and yeah, Nightshade is also going to be in the show. Who is going to be like the super genius type. So yeah. And I know Comanche's coming back in the show. We saw him in the flashbacks with Luke Cage. But yeah, so that's those are the season 2, some of the season 2 villains. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how Misty deals with the arm. I really am. That's probably one of the biggest things. I believe I've said it before. It seems like people they had more time to train more in their disciplines in defenders. Um, Mr. Jones looked a lot better in terms of his wushu and his kung fu in this. I was a little bit more. I was more satisfied. I was like, yeah, okay. I wouldn't mind season 2 of Iron Fist introducing Shang-Chi. I wouldn't mind that. Like that would be a good. Yeah, okay. Um, it's like there's speculation that Punisher series is going to introduce Moon Knight. We're going to see him in the flashbacks. May see Mark Spector when he was a Marine. He was a Marine too. That would be. I would take that. And him and Frank knew each other. That'd be great. They put that in there. And while Frank went this way, he went up into North Africa and his mercenary days, and went up to North Africa and was guarding, helping with Marlene, his love interest, and then was killed by Bushman. I'd take that. Yeah, some speculations. Yeah, those are some speculations. I wouldn't mind. Uh, the original Diamondback was not that religious in the comics. Uh, they kept it true to some degree. They kept it true to some degree that Willis and Luke knew each other. They were in the same gang together. Luke and him were in the same gang. They were called the Bloods, I believe they were called. I can't remember, but they were in the same gang, and um, it was Cotton. It was Willis who set Luke up and sent him to jail. Uh, you know, put a bunch of smack in his apartment. Called the cops. They bust in. They catch Luke with all this narcotics. Send him away to jail. I don't understand why they sent him all the way to a prison all the way in Georgia, but yeah, he was sent away. And but he came back. And Diamondback really had no. He didn't have like a metal suit. He had was these knives. He used throwing knives that were explosives. And when him and Luke were fighting on top of a building, he fell off the building, and one of his exploding knives fell near him and blew up. That's how he died. Yeah. Favorite Easter egg? Didn't really have a favorite one. The Easter eggs they did have was fine. But I didn't really have a favorite Easter egg. Cottonmouth shouldn't have died. Yeah, Black Mariah killed him. Uh, I don't think so. No, I don't think Electra had that. But it'd be really cool to have like she has that. She's developing that pre augmented sense that she has. That's why it's hard. It's why she's able to sneak up on Matt without him noticing. She's able to block her presence from him. She does that just for joy. It's got shits and giggles. It's funny how she does that. Jigsaw will be in the series. Um, Ben, the actor who played Prince Caspian in the Narnia movie, is going to be Jigsaw. Yep, that'd be cool. I think I would love for them to introduce the the Magi, that other criminal organization. If you want to look it up, Maggia. That's the name. Look it up. Um, so that's definitely another thing. Indeed. Uh, Jessica Jones is always drunk in the cop. No, she's not. No, she's not. Um, she got off the booze when she got married. When she got married, when she had baby Danielle, she got off the booze. She got off the booze. And evolved into a pretty decent, good mother. Now, in the comics, now Bendis is kind of taking her back to that route when he first started with her, and her and Luca, they're reconnecting their marriage, reconciling their marriage, but at one point it looked like they were actually broken up, like separated at a time. So we'll see. Let's see what else we have here. Madam Hydra. Yeah, I kind of given up on the Agents of Shield a little bit, but yeah, a little bit. I kind of given up. They're just beating Hydra into the ground. It's stupid because I'm not trying to get off subject, get off the topic here, but this is Defenders, not Agents of Shield. But you know, Shield fell. I mean, Shield fell in Captain America. Hydra fell pretty much. But then you basically continued that story saying there was still some stragglers left in that. Okay, but this, no. You mean Shadowland? Is that what you mean? Not Shadow World, Shadowland. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt that indeed. Um, nope, don't think so. Nope, not at all. I don't think we're going to see Shadowland because Defenders was basically Shadowland already. Was because they just replaced Elektra as what the kind of the demon in her, So don't need to do it. Indeed. Uh, I don't. I want Shield movie wise. She definitely needs to be movie wise. Thundra, that it would make no sense because once again, Thundra, you're dealing with multiverse. She's from another world. So yeah, she definitely needs to be movie wise. Doctor Strange opened up the multiverse. Do it. Trying to stay. Like in the movie, how Mac sees everything. No, because I don't want him being a bat. The way they have him see things in the show is like everything's on fire. Like he still can see images like shadows, but it works. That's fine. I don't want him the way they in the movie. Don't be the same as the movie. That's it. Um, that's just the way it is. Paula Patton or Jennifer Winderstrom as for She-Hulk. I don't know who they could get to play um, Jennifer Walters. I wouldn't mind them having two actresses play her. When she's She-Hulk, you find someone big to play her. Bigger because you gotta make that believable. Like when she turns to She-Hulk, she becomes a 7 foot tall Jade Glamazon. I don't want to see. She should be almost the same height or taller than you know Thor. So, but I don't know. We'll see what it is. Midnight Suns. Hey Tino. Midnight Suns. I don't know. Um, that's tough because now we're dealing with supernatural stuff. Uh, but it could work. You know. Once again, I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry I had to break it up in 2 parts again because our computer just went out and I just had to start this thing all over. But I will be back next week with once again another open Q&A. There you can ask random questions, guys. I'll be back next week. But thank you for watching. Somewhat. Apologize for the stop and shop. I got a stop, drop, stream goes down, things like that. I apologize for that. But this is your boy, Vernon Kid. I'm the Geek High Lord of New York, saying peace, one love. Stay tuned, keep it real. To anybody who came late, I apologize. I'm not sure you got the memo. That's why it's always hit that play, hit that like, or hit that bell when you to get notified when I upload stuff, because that's what you got to do, guys. But other than that, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna play a little bit of. I don't know. I think I want to play some Mortal Kombat or something. I don't know. I just want to fuck somebody up real quick. But other than that, you guys take care. I'll see you guys later.